I was talking, you have to fill out paper before you talk.
Yep.
Mr. Wall.
Okay.
You're okay, you'll fix it.
Ready to get started?
Yep.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Jefferson Township Board of Trustees. It's Tuesday, August the 17th, 2021. It's 7:04 p.m. Would you all stand for the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to have a moment of silence to honor our military, firefighters, road workers, and sheriff deputies as they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Edwards.
Trustee McGuire.
Present.
Trustee Mann.
Present.
Trustee McLaughlin.
President.
We have a quorum present at the meeting.
Trustees, we have a special visitor that just came this evening, and he'd like to address you first before you conduct any other business.
Trustees, are you okay with suspending the rules to let this visitor present?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I introduce Mr. Aaron Friend, and he represents the Dayton Mediation Center, and he wants to address you about their homeless prevention program. So you have the floor.
Thank you, Trustee Wolf. I appreciate you, your invitation here tonight, and thank you, trustees, for allowing me to speak here today. Thank the community as well. At the Dayton Mediation Center, we've been working, well, we're part of the city, number one. No one ever knows about it, so it's probably best to get that clear. We've been located, or we've been with the city now for about 38 years, and person to person, it's tough to find someone that says, oh, we know the mediation center exists. It seems like it's because what we do is we deal with conflict. We're mediators, neutral third parties to support people in talking about things. And so in that particular way, we have multiple different things that we do within the community. We just talked to one of the community members about a programming that we have here in Jefferson Township that goes along with, that supports the program also that we have with the sheriff, that supports neighbors and their ability to talk with individuals, talk with each other about things. And certainly when those circumstances exist, you just have to reach out to us, and I have cards here, definitely have my number on there. Give me a call. If the availability or the opportunity for those neighbors to talk with each other is there, or when both parties are interested in doing so, certainly we can get them together, have those conversations. But also there are times, of course, where both individuals in some type of conflict aren't interested in having a conversation, so we can do what we call conflict coaching, or support that one individual in thinking about what it is that they're going to do about that particular conflict they're in. We're not lawyers or attorneys, so certainly we don't tell people what to do or give them any legal advice, but certainly we help them think through whatever it is that they're going through. And so that's just one of the programs that we have, or the programs that we have with neighbors. We have multiple programs that deal with the courts, whether it's small claims court, eviction court. We've got juvenile diversion, parenting time / custody that occurs. CSEA, which is Child Support Enforcement Agency, we're there as well when they have hearings for talking about money, we'll see those hearings, and they're having an opportunity to talk to us about things. And so multiple different programs. Support the community. We're also going to be soon having an alternative responder program in the city of Dayton, where we're going to have mediators who are going to respond to 911 calls, not things that are heavy conflict, of course, where you probably would need a police officer, but other things where there's an opportunity for someone like myself to talk to folks in a way that perhaps can support them in a way that the police themselves couldn't do at that particular point. But I want to come talk to you all about program that I deal with, and is very near and dear to me, is our landlord-tenant programming, which seeks to support property owners and residents in whatever fashion, whatever housing issues may occur. Be able to bring those entities together when possible. If it's residents that need to talk to each other, for that as well. And then certainly, in the circumstances where that doesn't occur or can occur, then to talk to the resident or the property owner about whatever the situation is that they're in. As I'm sure that you all know, there's some interesting times that we're in, and people need support. And certainly they have the opportunity to talk to me about things because I've been been working with property management and residents and property owners over the past 7 years. So I've got a bit of knowledge about the circumstances and the situations that are involved in these cases. And so we can talk about options and things that individuals can do. There are multiple things that people unfortunately don't know about. Many resources in our community that people can get a hold of. For example, rental assistance is just one of them that is available. People have to know that it exists in order to apply for these things. And so these are the type of things, the type of resources that I can talk about. Not that I have them personally, because we're the city, we literally don't have the money, but I can point them in the right direction. Also, can talk about other resources that people are interested in. Talk about things that perhaps that they need to do as far as repairs. Once again, don't give me legal advice, but I've heard things. So I can certainly talk about some of the things I've heard, and certainly perhaps some of the things that I've read. And so I brought some brochures, and I put some out here next to the other one that I saw. And so certainly I'd like to give these all to you, and for an opportunity to pass these out, whatever you need. And then also too, if you had any ideas for us as far as, how we can be more responsive to the residents and property owners in your area. We'd love to be involved in a more strategic way so that people know about everything that is going on out here, and people have the opportunity to talk about what's necessary so people can stay housed. So certainly, I definitely want to leave just about 100, probably left about 20 out here, but about 80 left over. If you need any more, you certainly let me know. And we definitely would, any parts of the township, any parts of the municipality that have any interest in discussing how we can partner with each other in order to really get the word out. We would definitely love to do that because currently, myself, I'm working on a grant from the county, which allows me to spread out to the entire county versus just staying in the city of Dayton or into other limited areas. Because of course we were always going to be working with you out here in Jefferson Township, but it allows me to get out to the greater county. And so that's really all I wanted to say. Certainly, if there are any questions, I'd love to answer any if there were.
Is there any fee for folks outside the city of Dayton?
So that's a great question, Trustee McGuire. And the answer at this particular point is no. There's no fee. Because as I said, we're working on the grant, and so no fee at this point. So these definitely services that are being provided or something you can take advantage of free of cost at this point. So people just need to give a call. These cards here that we have printed, got my name, number, and email address on here, so they can certainly give me a call at any time. And we'd be able to talk about things. If there's an opportunity for mediation, to get parties together and talk about circumstances, we certainly could do that as well.
So what's the process? So you got, I guess, number one, you got to have two parties agree to mediate, number one.
That's true.
So are you able to guide it to an outcome, or is it always possible to have a situation where there was no resolution?
Well, there's always that chance, because when you have parties involved, this is their circumstances. So certainly, while I could provide them with information, support them in figuring out what their viewpoint is about things, at the end of the day, they're going to have to figure out things. So there certainly are opportunities for no resolution, especially when there's just one party talking about it. And perhaps the great thing about these kind of conversations we're having now, we're able to get to people early enough. For example, for people that are having situations or are having some type of rental situation, The earlier the better for those individuals to have these conversations, either with the property owner or with the resident, or for the property owner talking about what things that they can do, because on both sides, there is a significant amount of money that for whatever reason, property owners and residents don't know about. And it feels as if it would be beneficial in those particular circumstances for either party to seek out those particular agencies as soon as possible to make sure that they can get what they need to be whole. That's just one example. Yes, sir.
So is your mediation strictly landlord and tenant situations?
So, not strictly.
Okay,
And
the question I have then is, what if the house next door to me is a rental? And not that the person living in that rental is necessarily doing anything wrong, he has all kinds of junk and places really looking bad, but the owner's not keeping the maintenance upon the building. Can the guy next door try to start a mediation? Would you be involved in something?
Absolutely.
So communication and mediation, not matter who it is, should try to
Yes,
get it
sir.
resolved.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
Not just for landlords and tenants, also for residents, neighbors, whomever it is. At the end of the day, conflict. And so you can get a hold of us for any of these things, because someone,
That would be very helpful.
right, someone on the team deals with these things, so.
Yeah.
And that specifically would be me.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about that, with the residents.
So residents will be able to call you outside of the.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We take anyone can call. And certainly we also take referrals as well. But certainly residents, please give us a call, because these type of things that are best taken care of earlier than later. The sooner the better. Yes, ma'am.
So, say for example, you have a case where you need to mediate with somebody. Where do they eventually end up needing to go through this? It's not magical.
So that's also a fantastic question. So our offices are located in the city of Dayton. We're on West 2nd Street at 371 West 2nd Street. So that's our office. And so we're on the 3rd floor, and that's where most of the mediation takes place. Even though that's the case, we do also do remote if there was an opportunity, or if need be. If this was, for example, I'm not saying this is the case, but if there was a facility such as this that was nearby to the residents or whoever it was, and was available, then, we could have mediation in a place just like this. It wouldn't be a problem.
One more side note to that. Would any, when you say yours is not legal, would there be somebody, like maybe a sheriff or somebody to control it if they got a little bit wild?
So this is a great question, this is a great question. So many people believe that mediations, these type of conversations can get heated, and certainly they do. But it's my job to intervene in the conversation, support people so that they are able to hear each other in a more constructive, productive way. I have not seen, I've been working at the Mediation Center for 7 years now, and in no time in that 7 years, or in the history of the Mediation Center, while we've been having mediation anyway, have there been any fisticuffs or any type of literal physical altercation. And the reason for that is the way that we do our job. When we see people in media or talk, become weak and self-absorbed, which is just a way of saying we see people thrown off and in the midst of thinking some type of way. When we see this, then we intervene. And when that happens, people feel heard, and when you feel heard, then you're not as angry anymore, or you're not as emotional anymore. And so people don't get to the point where they want to jump on each other. Also, we let people know in the mediation that at any point it's not working for you, please let me know. And if at some point it's not working for you at all, and you feel as if you need to get out of here, well, here's the door, and certainly you have the opportunity to get out of here, I'm not going to stop you, and not a problem. And so when people get to that point where they're like, oh, can't deal with this anymore, they get up and leave. So, in that particular way, never had any problem with people jumping on each other. That's a great question. People always think that this is a possibility. Never has happened. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, no, thank you for having me. And so I will leave these behind with whomever. And certainly, If you need more, let me know. It'd be nice to, Mr. Wolf, to be able to reach out to you, see who it is perhaps within the municipality that perhaps can, this person where we need to throw these out further. Ooh, thank you. And this is my number, everybody. If you get a card, I can pass out some. Thank you.
And I will put these in the lobby out front.
Okay. My name and number and email address is all on here. Give me a call whenever you need to. Okay?
We'll give it to the fire department as well.
Oh.
Because they're in the middle of conflict all the time.
Oh, yes, and police would be in our, well, sheriff, we should give them some.
Yep.
There we go. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, trustees, administrators asked for an executive session under Ohio Revised Code 12122, Section G1, for the purposes of reviewing applications received for filling the vacant road time road worker position and discuss wages in the road department.
Can we do it at the end of the meeting?
It's on the agenda here. So I move to go into executive session and invite Mr. Wolf.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Roll call, please.
Trustee McGuire.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Trustee Mann.
Yes.
Okay, we're in executive session. This is 7:20 p.m.